Welcome back, guys, to the show where we take a look at Nintendo Power magazines, or kind of any retro magazines of the past. We go through it in depth, checking out the stories, maybe me giving you some personal memories with the magazine. Hope you guys are excited. We are checking out May, volume 60 of Nintendo Power. This is from 1994 with Super Metroid on the cover. Let's get into it.
Books, guides, magazines, and everything in between. It's about video games, and that's what I read. Yeah, that's what I read. Russ's Retro Reads.
All right, starting off with this cover, you got Samus jumping in mid-air here with her blaster cannon. New Super Game Boy full screen color action, letting you know there's a Super Metroid offer on the next page. That's about it. It's all Super Metroid on the front cover here, which I'm not complaining about. This is an awesome image of Samus. The planet in the background with the greens. The color looks great for sure. Let's dive into the first page. Gotta love these ads. You got a guy in a tutu with this like duh face on it. You'd rather be caught in this than on Zebes without a Super Metroid Player's Guide. So you can order a Super Metroid Player's Guide. Count me in. Here's your certificate. That's what the guide itself looks like. I don't own that. Definitely want to look into picking that up. To stay alive in the new 24 meg Super Metroid, you better be light on your feet. After all, we're talking about the biggest Metroid game yet and the biggest Nintendo game ever. Just try to thumb your way through 6 new worlds of adventure. You're up against more Metroids than ever before in 24 megs of action that'll toss you right on your tender little tutu. But there's one secret weapon you should know about. Renew for a year in the Nintendo Power Super Power Club for $18 or join now and get a free Super Metroid Player's Guide. That's 128 full-color pages of secret tips to help you bowl over the bosses like ballerinas. Plus, you'll get $10 back when you send in your club order form and the UPC code from your Super Metroid game pack. That does mean you have to cut the box to send in the code to save $10. You're also going to pick up 12 tip-filled issues of Nintendo Power Magazine, more great game pack discounts, plus the right to order cool gear from the Super Power Supplies catalog, and more. But you gotta get the game and send in your membership before July 31st to grab it all. If you can't wait till then, just call 1-800-255-3700 and tell them you want offer number 2147. Now! So if you can handle 24 megs of attitude, go for it. But don't forget your free guide, because the one thing that'll look worse than pink tights is getting caught on Zebes with your pants down. Fantastic marketing campaign here with this. Switching over to that, looks like we got a sweet ad for the Game Boy with some skater right here. Don't know what skateboarder that is since it's not Tony Hawk, but it's a pretty cool picture of a skateboarder there doing, is he doing like a loop? He's looking upside down. Yeah, he's got to be in some like loop or something. I don't know how he pulled that off, but looks awesome. You got some graffiti down here of Game Boy. All right, what is in this issue here? What's packed in? May 1994, Volume 60, game reviews of Super Metroid, The King of Dragons, Joe and Mac 2, The Jetsons, Invasion of the Planet Pirates, Sports Scene, Spectre, Knights of the Round, Solitary Fun Pack, Black Bass Lure Fishing, Bonk's Adventure, special features, Nestor Award results, the Super Game Boy. And your regular features, you got classified information, Counselor's Corner, now playing, Pack Watch, next issue. You got a Metroid comic on page 62, and feedback, Player's Pulse, and Power Players Challenge, top 20. Jam-packed issue for sure. Player's Pulse. I love look at, now they're doing the envelope art showcase, because so many people detailing their envelopes when they're writing into Nintendo Power. Looks like This one's got Bubsy on it. That's Super Mario and Luigi, the genie from Aladdin. I guess, oh, that's Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat right down there. Okay. What do we got here? I love the cover of the bonus issue. I think you should make more like it. I thought the milk caps were excellent. I didn't open them because my dad and I are collectors. So they're talking about like the Pogs or milk caps that must have came in Nintendo Power. I have tons of non-sport milk caps. These will go great in my collection. Thanks, Josh. I have some Virtual Boy milk caps or Pogs somewhere. I can't grab them. They must have came in a Nintendo Power. Let's see. Melissa says, how did I like this year's bonus issue compared to last year's? To tell you the truth, I love both, but last year's had more in it. The only thing better in this year's issue was the stereograms. Those were awesome, and everyone else that I had try them couldn't put it down. It seemed like they went around my whole school. My mag ended up getting bent and ripped because so many people tried it. It made me mad, but everyone enjoyed them as much as I did. I hope to see more in the future bonus issues. I think you should have more bonus issues. We'll have to see what they're talking about in this bonus issue. I'm unsure what they're referring to. We'll read one more here from Brian. Your 94 bonus issue was a ton cooler than 93. The stereograms are really, really awesome. For the longest time, I couldn't do them, but now I can. Get more quick. Keep up the good work. Excellent. It looks like they have a All-Star Game contest winner right here. Jeremy Peterson from DeForest, Wisconsin was chosen as our grand prize winner in the Player Polls Contest. Volume 54. A trip to Metropolis, was in store for the Super Power Club member. Jeremy and his mother, Kathy, arrived in New York City on a Thursday evening. However, the hockey game was until Saturday, so that left plenty of time to see some sights. Some of the stops included the Empire State Building, Times Square, Museum of Natural History, Planet Hollywood, and of course, a Nintendo Power tradition, the Hard Rock Cafe, with lots of shots on goal. The hockey game was really exciting. The Eastern Conference pulled out the win by a score of 9-8. Wow, high score for hockey and very close. Editor's Corner. Gail, what's Gail saying? Recently, I've been reading some letters from Super Power Club members who are disappointed that the number of NES reviews in the Nintendo Power is on the decline. Unfortunately, that does seem to be the case. There are some great NES games in development, but licensed companies are currently concentrating the majority portion of their development efforts on Super NES titles. Without a wealth of NES titles out there to review, we have to stick to our policy of only reviewing games that prove themselves to be worthy of coverage by scoring high while going through Nintendo's evaluation process. That's all. The new Super Nintendo's out. It's going to gear towards more Super games like Super Metroid right here. Looking awesome. Love the font on this with the yellows and the orange. Man, when this game came out, blown away. I think my friend got it first, so I played a lot of it at his house, but couldn't wait to get my hands on a copy for sure. Soar into space with bounty hunter Samus Aran and take on the pirates of Planet Zebes in Super NES Battle to the End All Battles. Super Metroid from Nintendo is a 24 megabit adventure with weapons and special items galore, a ton of slimy bug-like aliens, and a world full of underground catacombs and secret passages. Samus is back from her NES and Game Boy adventures, and she's stronger than ever. 5 types of beams, 2 types of missiles and bombs, and 11 more spacesuit attachments will help Samus power through the evil population of Zebes and the regenerated Mother Brain. So it shows some of the, this is the opening of Super Metroid, so they're just showing you the screenshots, essentially, of how the game started here. Years ago, Samus Aran descended to Zebes, demolished a Metroid army, and destroyed the Mother Brain. After Zebes was taken care of, Samus blasted the Metroid population of SR-388 and discovering a hatchling. Samus took the Metroid hatchling to Ceres Space Station for the scientists to study and look after. The scientists discovered that the Metroid hatchling had energy-producing characteristics. Answering a distress call, Samus returned to the space station to find the lab in ruins. The pirate Ridley was at the station waiting for Samus while the hatchling is in its claws. After a short fight, Ridley made its escape with the hatchling and took off for Zebes. Samus fled from the station as it self-destructed and set a course for the pirate's planet. That's the intro right there. It gives you it mapped out. Adventurer assistance, automatic map, which was huge because you didn't have a map in NES or on the Game Boy, which made it very confusing. As a guide Samus through the hostile environment of planet Zebes, you'll discover several features and items that will reveal help. Shown below are a few of the tools at your disposal. Use them wisely and plan ahead as you venture below the planet's surface. The subscreen map automatically keeps track of where you've been. You can tap into the map device in each of the Sespanian areas. The map device shows you the layout of the area that you're in. Rest stops. Fighting off the aliens of Zebes tends to take a lot out of you. There are several stations in the planet where you can stop and re-energize or save your progress. Certainly a big upgrade, and it was huge. With the first Metroid, you had to just farm for health, essentially. There was no quick, easy way. Extra armor. There are 2 powerful suits that add armor to Samus Aran's already strong spacesuit. The Varia doubles her resistance to enemy contact. The gravity suit quadruples her strength and allows for underwater mobility. Booster burst. Samus will get a real burst of speed when she straps on the speed booster. These boots will send her sailing through corridors at a sonic blur. See what you did there with the... Shows a little screenshot here showing you can get through this pass with the speed booster. Criteria. Definitely breaks it down with the map, so this is super helpful to let you know where all the things are. The Golden Gateway, right? When you defeat all the enemies, that's where you gotta go. Ridley, Kraid, I forgot his name, the other boss there, and there's 2 other bosses. Can't remember their names, but that's where they're at. All right, what do we got? Journey to the past. The surface area of Zebes is awash in acid rain. This is where the real adventure begins. Criteria serves as a portal to the Zesbanian underground, a series of cave-like corridors populated by relatively weak creatures, leads to a huge area of Brinstar and to the ancient wrecked ship. This adventure on Zebes begins where the last one ended. A floor door leads to an old terrain. This was once Zesbanian Command Center. An elevator leads to another familiar area. That's right, you go down the elevator and it's like the beginning of the first NES game. What do we got here? The wrecked ship. Before you can make your way to the wrecked ship, you'll have to venture to Norfair and pick up the grappling beam. Bomb battle. Long before the pirates took over Zebes, the Chozo bird people ruled the planet. Statues of the birds are scattered throughout Zebes with their hands outstretched to offer special items. This statue offers bombs with some reluctance. Shows he comes alive and you have to attack him right there. Moving on to Brinstar breakdown. Gotta love the art that they do around here on the edges and everything, and the little monsters in the background just to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye, so it's just not a map screen with just like black background. Yeah, this is a pretty good breakdown of the game itself here. Part 2, Brinstar, and you got your clash with Kraid, and he's massive this time. Metroid 1, he's about the same size as Samus. Now he's huge. The leader of the Brinstar is much larger and much stronger than he was in the previous incarnation. When you reach Kraid's quarters, the mighty mean lizard will rise up from the ground, charge forward and spit out rocks. You've got to blind it with beams or missiles in order to make it open its mouth, then fill it up with more firepower. Moving on to Norfair. You'll pick up some more power-ups along the way. power up hideaway. Oh yeah, you can go through the floor over here and get yourself a power up. Getting the wave beam. Crocomire. There's one of your bosses right there. Sink the Crocomire. The massive Crocomire cannot be destroyed by missiles or beams. You must use your firepower to push it back into the lava. When the Crocomire opens its mouth, hit it with missiles and your powered up beam. So then it kind of wraps up your review right down here. Arm yourself with the Super Metroid's Player's Guide. These pages just scratch the surface of Planet Zebes. Samus Aran's greatest challenges are yet to come. But you don't have to face the sinister forces of the Mother Brain alone. Arm yourself with our 112-page Super Metroid's Player Guide, the Galactic Warrior's most prized travel companion. It features complete full-color maps and a gigantic fold-out poster of the entire planet. It's the definitive source for Zebes secrets and Samus strategies. Don't go into battle unequipped. Order your Super Metroid Player's Guide now while supplies last from your Super Power Supplies catalog. Look for more info in the Super Metroid Player's Guide. I'm curious on what this bad boy's going for. What do we think? 50 bucks? 80 bucks? Let's look it up on eBay. Super Metroid Player Guide. So here we go. We're on eBay. $125. Our best offer. 90 bucks. 135. 135. That one is $55 for some reason. It looks a little different with the colors. 140, 259, 56. Good God. So a little bit out of my price range. We'll see if we can catch it at a convention. I think 50 bucks or so is a good deal. All right, moving on. The King of Dragons. Glidis Awakes. The King of Dragons by Capcom moves to the Super NES in an action-packed translation that is true to the arcade version. According to the legend, the fierce dragon Glidis is about to awake, and when he does, he'll be even deadlier than he was before his slumber. 2 players can team up to destroy him before he fully awakes from his year-long nap. I probably played this in the arcade. I don't think I picked this up on the Super Nintendo. It looks like an awesome beat 'em up for sure. Love the art on this. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Treasure chests hold fruit for health and gold for wealth. Defeated enemies love treasures behind too. Your health meter grows as your level rises. The bad. The odds are bad. These guys don't play fair. You'll often be attacked by groups of enemies who sometimes appear to be better equipped than you are. The ugly. The enemies have all sorts of ugly punishment waiting. Some will fry you, others will freeze you, and one picks you up to bite your head off. Wow. Here are your dragon slayers. You have an elf, wizard, a fighter, cleric, and a dwarf. The game gives you a balanced group of adventurers to choose from. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. Weigh their pros and cons and consider their special abilities before selecting the warrior whose set of skills fits your own fighting style. Certainly gives you lots of replayability. Since you have 5 characters to choose from, you can keep going through and be like, oh, I like the dwarf better than the elf or the fighter. Or when a friend comes over, lots to choose from. Just like here, 2-player teamwork. Teamwork counts in the 2-player mode, which is perfect for evenings up the odds, or evening up the odds that they were playing in the evening. It can be easier to use up your 2 continues with 2 players, though if your teammate is inexperienced. Pick characters who have complementary skills. Pair good hand-to-hand skills with a character who has good distance attack. And we get a pretty good spread of this here of King of Dragons. A race with time. Level up. Treasure traps. The shadow nose. Oh, so here's the breakdown in each stage. Looks like there's 8 stages. Orc King you start off with. Mighty Minotaur. These must be the bosses too, okay. Yep, Fiery Wyvern. Stay clear of the Wyvern's clutches as it swoops in to attack, then jump to strike as it retreats. Leap over its fireballs. The Triple Hydra right there. Looks awesome. 3 different colors of the dragon heads. North Ship. Psycho Cyclops. Of course, gotta be Psycho Cyclops. Keep moving to keep the massive Cyclops from honing in on you. When he sees you, he throws boulders and punches with a huge fist. Spitting spiders. And finally, Great Dragonian. The Great D is mounted on a fire-breathing dragon. Strike, then run around quickly to keep them from setting up to attack. Or is there more? Let's see. It's quite a bit more. I was only halfway through, I guess. 16. Yep, that's all 16 stages. Wow, and you only get 2 continues too. Black Knight, Circling Rafts, Giant Dragonian, Royal Knights, fight a Dark Wizard, an Ice Wyvern, Dual Cyclops, and Gildas Awakes. Or Glidius, however you want to say this name here, this dragon. Looks great. I'll have to go through and check that game out. That's the King of Dragons. Moving on to Joe and Mac, Lost in the Tropics, Caveman's times. We're going a little bit further back in time. Rock the Tropics. Tropical settings are usually thought of as nice and relaxing. Not these tropics. Joe and Mac won't be able to relax until they get their leader's treasure back. It's not that Joe and Mac are such do-gooders. It's that the mission presents yet another opportunity to attract the sense of cave babes. Gotta attract the sense of cave babes. Overall, this game is better than Joe and Mac's first Super Nintendo outing. One of the nicest things about it is that you can choose to play the first several stages in any order you want. The play control is a little tricky in some spots, and the hit detection isn't spectacular, especially on the bosses. Great. But it's a distraction that you can overcome. The best feature of the game is the 2-player mode. Joe and Mac can thrash dinos together. K-Bros to the end. Joe and Mac can endure the rigors of prehistory together. Explore many modes of transportation. Hey, when was the wheel invented anyway? The Tiki Village. Spend your dough to obtain a wife. Buy flowers and give them to the same girl until she likes them. After you get married, she'll be waiting at home for your triumphant return. You should send her flowers in the meantime. Wow. Okay. So, hey, if you like someone, just keep sending them flowers. Just keep sending them. Then they'll eventually marry you. That's what this game teaches you. There are 5 shops set up in Tiki Village. All 5 provide valuable services. The women in the first hut will give passwords. Write them down. The dude in the second hut sells food, flowers, and remodeling services. Visit him often. If you want to get yourself a wife and keep everyone happy, make sure that you visit the wise old man to get a stone. You'll find free transportation back to your village in the 4th hut. And in the 5th, scope out what's going on elsewhere. And then breaks down the tropics right here of all the different islands you'll be going to. And once you finish with that, I guess you could go to the Rainbow Gate. To create the Rainbow Gate, you have to collect 7 stones. You'll get 1 after the first stage, 1 from the old man, and 1 after defeating each boss. Nice. Certainly sounds like a fun game. They put a lot of stuff you could put into it. Here's a more breakdown too of each section here with some of the bosses. You'll be fighting a Stegosaurus, Pterodactyl, and a Triceratops. Big bosses. They all look great too with the sprites. I played Joe and Mac on NES and probably on Super Nintendo. Can't say if it was this one, but it almost seems like they want you to start with this one, saying it was better than the first one. More improvements. A Aquasaurus. Do the T-Rex Tango. The battle with the biggest, baddest dinosaur of them all takes place in 2 parts, more or less. The first part finds you avoiding the T-Rex's leg as he tries to stamp you out. Run fast when you hear him snarl. The second part is much like the previous boss battle you have. Just hit him in the head with your weapon. Stay back if you have the stone axe. Otherwise, you'll have to make dangerous jumps to swing at him. back for more. It'll take quite a bit of effort to oust Gork on your second meeting with him. He's beefed up his defenses. The best time to attack him is just as he's descending from a jump. Get in for a quick sting and then move away fast. Oh, we got the Jetsons Invasion of Planet Pirates. Meet George Jetson. Jane, Judy, Elroy, and Astro are all present for the roll call in Tatio's new single-player retro future platformer game that pits George against the Planet Pirates. With solid play control and 3 difficulty levels to choose from, the game is suitable for players of almost any ability level. Although those unfamiliar with the animated television classic might find the new to like, fans of the show should find it to be a hoot. Captain Zoom, the opening cinema scene, tells all the Planet Pirates are about to invade and George must stop them. Zoom's Pop. Before Captain Zoom leaves George to take on the Planet Pirates, all alone, he leaves his pop. How do you say this? Phonomosmatic precipitator with him. It will be George's only weapon, so you'll want to learn to use it skillfully in the early going before moving on to more difficult challenges. Press the Y button once to activate the pop and again to turn the suction off. Using the unique weapon, you can suck up enemies, climb walls, and collect items. Pick up the power-ups. It gives you a breakdown of all the power-ups in the game right here. And here is a nice map of the section 1 here, stage 1. Getting up close and personal with the pop in the first section. The more adept you are using the clever device, the better your chances in later, more difficult stages. Power up the pop, so you'll be ready to face the great ape at the stage's end. Flip the switch. So you'll go through, it gives you all where the power-ups are, what each one is. I've never played this game before. It looks pretty sweet. I watched the Jetsons growing up as well, so I could see definitely enjoying this one. And it's a platformer. Platformers are always fun. Looks like it also lands on the poster of this. I don't have the posters for all Nintendo Powers, but it seems it's in this one. So it does fold out into more of a map for the Jetsons game right here. Let's see what's on the back side. And it looks like it's a poster for the Jungle Book. Kind of fitting here. I would kind of wish it was a Super Metroid poster, but that's okay. Coming to your Super NES from Virgin. Disney's The Jungle Book. And that moves on to the sports scene. We got sports games. May 1994. 4-player Jammin'. The other day, a friend asked if I wanted to play Jam on his Genesis. I told him I only play the best NBA Jam for the Super NES. Looks better, sounds better, and plays better. No argument. And the Jammin' doesn't stop there. This month's sports scene takes a look at Barkley's Shut Up and Jam. Later this summer, we'll check out Jam It from Virgin Games. For 4-player slammin' jammin' action, there's only one place to play, and that's on the Super NES, the System of Champions. Good God. Gotta love the humor. Baseball 94, pages 38 to 40, Jeopardy Sports, Arcade Cycle, page 41. Some of the games we'll be getting into. Sir Charles Takes Back the Streets. Shut Up and Jam. San Jose, California. NBA Jam fans may be wondering where Sir Charles is, because he sure isn't in their game. That's because he is the star of a sports accolades Barkley Shut Up and Jam, a street-smart rough and tumble 2-on-2 that has many bruises as NBA Jam has showboats. The action is fast and furious, whether you challenge the computer or up to 3 other players. It's a street game all the way, from the graphics of the 8 home courts to the pickup team selection before the game. Charles Barkley, star of the Phoenix Suns, spent valued time with the teams at Accolade while the game was shaping up, and his brand of in-your-face play really punches through the screen like a fist. Never played this game. Always played NBA Jam, right? That was the go-to. I've heard about Shut Up and Jam. Have to give it a go. Here we go. What else we got here? I was showing the link. The Lincoln Jam. So this is your 4-player adapter for the Super Nintendo. 4-player Jammin' with Barkley Shut Up and Jam makes the most of this game pack, just as it does when the hit NBA Jam. But before you and the other jammers can land on the virtual court, you've got to be able to link up. The newest accessory for the Super NES that connects up to 5 players to the action is the Super Link from Bulletproof Software. That's right, because this will play into player 2, giving you 4 ports, and you have player 1, so we'll plug into there. And we got a few more sports games here. Back to College. So this gives the breakdown of all the sports games that are coming out. This is the sports section, though. And like I said, I didn't play too many of the sports games. Look, Ma, no cables. Baseball scorecard. Okay. Oh, is it these different games? Yeah. Cal Ripken Jr. Baseball, ESPN Tonight. Current stats, team edit, memory size, how big the memory is. If it has voice, so the only one that doesn't have voice is Roger Clemens, MVP Baseball. No voice in that game. Interesting. Suzuki on 2 wheels. Natsume on the map. Oh, that's cool that they put the wrestling in here as well. Burlington, California. Natsume wanted to bring a different kind of wrestling game to the Super NES and did so at Natsume Championship Wrestling. Without the frills of big-time TV wrestling, they created a more traditional game and emphasizing the moves and skills of 12 fictional wrestlers. Each wrestler has dozens of possible moves that vary depending on the situation. For instance, if Fangs is grappling with his opponent, you can push the B button to throw the Brain Buster. But if the opponent is on the mat, the B button activates the Stomp. It can be frustrating trying to master the number of moves or just keep them straight in your mind. 1 or 2 players can join in exposition and tag team matches. Without a license like WWF, many wrestling fans will be disappointed. But some players will find enough moves here for a challenge. We got some more sports on here with World Champions. Go for the Goal 2. And this is Jeopardy! So you call yourself a sports fan, put yourself to the test and play Jeopardy! Sports Edition to see if you really know enough trivia to be a champion. I would lose at these constantly. Probably easy now, right? You could probably Google all these answers. All right, what is this game? Spectre. Kind of like a mix of, Marble Madness and Star Fox. Welcome to the virtual battlefield of Cybersoft Spectre, where video tanks take all the risk out of warfare, but leave you and all the rewards. In your Spectre battlecraft, you can warp, leap, shoot, and run, customize, play split screen with or against a friend, or climb the arena ladder of ever greater challenges. I don't know, it doesn't look that impressive to me. No Way Out. Get your balance. Are these your ships? They're just like the blocks? Because this isn't gameplay here. They show a few of the screenshots right here you can see. Again, they're using all this kind of computer graphics here to enhance what you would be seeing on here. Very dark background, right? I guess you got some green in there to lighten it up a little bit. I don't know. Doesn't look interesting to me. Knights of the Round. Ooh, a second Knights game in here. This one's a great beat 'em up as well. So they had 2 coverage of beat 'em up games set in medieval times. Oft doesn't thou playeth. Knights of the Round. Yeah, 'tis noble. Arthur's Legend. Capcom has taken 3 main characters from Arthurian legend and has thrown them into a Final Fight-ish hack and slash game. This game is pretty standard fare as far as a hack and slasher go, but it's not standard fare considering that it's Capcom. There are far better Capcom titles available. One of the best things about this game is the 2-player mode. It's really fun. What doesn't thou biddest? All storyline aside, your mission in Knights of the Round is to fight your way through several scrolling stages, defeating just about everything in sight. Most of the stage bosses are fairly tough to beat. You can pick up power-up items and loot by defeating enemies and cracking open barrels. Ultimately, your goal is to locate the Grail that Merlin has told you about. The Knightly Warriors. When you begin your mission to find the Grail, you can choose to play as one of 3 warriors, King Arthur, Sir Lancelot, or Perceval. As you might imagine, no 2 warriors have abilities that are exactly the same. They differ in speed, power, and defense ability. Also, if you continue your game after being beaten, you can choose a different knightly fighter. I always like that, where you're not committed, so you can die, choose another fighter, continue on, die, choose the next fighter, and then you're like, all right, tried all 3. Let me choose the one that I like right here. The team is up for the Grail. As with most 2-player games, the action only gets better when you're not alone in your quest for glory. 2-player fighting games like Knights of the Round are fun because you can watch out for your partner and he can watch out for you. The enemies will gang up on you, so hang together. Really showcasing those Super Nintendo games that have 2-player. Village on Fire, Desperate Fight. So again, giving you a breakdown of the map here and some of the bosses that you will be fighting. Battle at the Castle Fort. Arlon, the Silver Emperor. The main thing to watch out is for Arlon's mace weapon. He can extend it quickly right into your face. Ouch. Try to get behind him when you attack. This should allow you to get several hits in on him. Otherwise, just keep swinging your sword as fast as possibly can and use your power move from time to time. Use your power move when you've got Arlon down to where he can be taken out with a few hits. Even though the move uses up your energy, it will be restored to full power when you win. Why not use it? To risk it to win it. Moving on, you have the Knights Tournaments, the Expedition. Hammer time, here we go. Balbers has a huge blue hammer, and he's not afraid to use it either. If you have to continue while fighting him, use Mighty Percival. All right, and then you have the final battle right here, Gash the Golem. The last stage is brutal, even when the game is set on the easiest difficulty level. The last stage isn't any longer than the other stages, just tougher. Strike rapidly at the heart of the Iron Golem. Just watch out for the giant mace arm that can hit your head. Who's the boss? At last, you finally get to uncover the mystery and battle for the Grail. One evil being stands in your way now. What are you going to do about it? Cross your fingers and hope for the best. Nah, you'll fight on. So they don't spoil it to see who the final boss is. The Nintendo Power Awards 1993 winners. Let's get into it. The players have spoken, sending in their 1993 Nintendo Power Award ballots from around the nation. As always, some of the winners were solid favorites while others surprised everyone. But even a quick glance will show you that these games were the best in 93. Titles from every category of gaming placed among the publishers this year. Further providing the video game is getting stronger than you have more choices than ever before. So what should you make of all the hoopla? If you haven't played some of these games, give them a try. The most dedicated game players in the world recommended them, and that's a pretty good endorsement. Let's check out the winners for Best Graphics and Best Sound. Star Fox coming in at number 1. Second was Mortal Kombat. And third was Secret of Mana. This was for Super Nintendo. So those are the categories. Super Nintendo. On Game Boy, number 1 was Link's Awakening. Then Mega Man 4 and Jurassic Park for third. Never played Jurassic Park on the Game Boy. And for NES, Best Graphics and Sound, Mega Man 5, number 1, Kirby's Adventure, and Battletoads Double Dragon. Not too shabby. All right, theme and fun. The adventure category was a clever winner for theme and fun. The depth of play in both Secret of Mana and Link's Awakening were exceptional. Mega Man 5 used one of the classic action game formulas. So first place was Secret of Mana. Gotta go back to the game. I seen a commercial for it recently and it's like, remember that game, I haven't played it. Number 2, Super Mario All-Stars and Street Fighter 2 Turbo for theme and fun. On the Game Boy, Link's Awakening, again, first place. Kirby's Pinball Land and Jurassic Park also, again. Put it on the list to find. NES, Mega Man 5 once again. Kirby's Adventure once again. And Battletoads and Dragon once again. Now, same 1, 2, and 3. Wow. Okay. Play control. All right, we'll skip up here. We'll go up here. Go Zoop. Challenge. Star Fox number 1 for Super Nintendo, Secret of Mana again, and Super Empire Strikes Back. First is Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, Ultima Ruins of Virtue, and Tetris 2 for challenge. And on NES, Mega Man 5, Tetris 2, and Fire and Ice. Down to play control, Street Fighter 2 Turbo took first, Star Fox took second, Disney's Aladdin took third. Link's Awakening with a sweep, first in all of its categories. That was for playing control. Mega Man 4 and Kirby's Pinball Land. And for the NES, also a sweep with Mega Man 5 for play control. Battletoads and Double Dragon and Kirby's Adventure. We have the Best Hero Award was Kirby. Kirby has finally arrived with a outstanding showing in the Nintendo Power Awards this year. His recent exposure has covered 2 game systems and a range of games types from action to pinball. The Lost Vikings come in second, and Link from Link's Awakening took third. For the Best Villain, Goro took first or third. It was very confusing because they have the Goro picture here, but then third place there. All right, first is Goro. Mortal Kombatants shiver in their shoes when Goro enters the arena with his mutant strength and all-inspiring freakishness. Goro claims the crown of best, worst, and biggest bad boy of them all. Second place, Dr. Wily, and third place was Darth Vader. Who could be more nefarious than Darth Vader, master of the dark side of the Force? Well, wouldn't he be first? All right, whatever. Give it to Goro. For Super NES, most innovative, The Lost Vikings. I did live stream this game. Very interesting. It was on a PC, I believe it first, possibly, and then it came to the Super Nintendo. But you use different Vikings to do, it's almost like a puzzle platformer. I don't know if you guys ever played it before, but what it says here. These kidnapped Norse heroes have to work together to escape from some of the strangest settings in video game history. The combination of individual Viking skills and puzzling obstacles is a winner. The sense of humor was also a winning innovation. Super Bomberman came in second and Shadowrun in third place. For Super NES, Best Sports Game, Tecmo Super NBA, Madden NFL 94, and NHL Stanley Cup. For Best Overall Game, we have right here, Mortal Kombat on the Super NES took it. With all the controversy over finishing moves and the amounts of blood, acclaimed Super NES version of Mortal Kombat rose above the fray and delivered superior graphics and moves to take Best Overall honors for the 1993. Second place was Secret of Mana. Only 5 votes behind Secret of Mana was the adventure hit of the year. And third was Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. The year began with the incredible graphics masterpiece of Capcom's Magical Quest. Best overall Game Boy game, of course, got to be Link's Awakening. They've been talking about it this whole issue here with it. Mega Man 4 on the Game Boy, And Yoshi's Cookie took third place. On the NES, really, RC Pro-Am 2. I've never played this one, maybe once, maybe very little. Always played the first one. This is an expensive game now because there's a sequel. Trade West RC Pro-Am 2 brought miniature racing to the NES in a big way. Great play control and lots of variety in the course kept this game plunged in and turned on. The competition at the top was tough, although the NES field was small last year. Not too many games coming out, right? And was focused on Super Nintendo. Taking second place was Battletoads and Double Dragon, and Kirby's Adventure on third. Congratulations! Our thanks and congratulations go out to all the programmers, artists, composers, game designers, testers, and other men and women who created the outstanding titles of 1993. As for you voters, May1994 candidates are already here, and more will be arriving soon, so you better keep notes. On to the classified information. Get your tips and tricks in this section. I'd always flip to here, remember the tan pages, and be like, what games do I have? Which ones did I rent? You got Soldiers of Fortune. Never played that one. Looks like a top-down shooter style game, kind of like a Contra or something. Okay. Super Slapshot. NBA Jam. What codes they got for this? Power up your turbo. At tonight's matchup screen, press B 7 times, then hold Y and A and B. Continue holding the buttons until the tip-off to get unlimited turbo power. Secret missions, Missile Command. Turtles Tournament Fighter. This will be the Super Nintendo version. Boss code. With this code, you can select either of the bosses as your character when you play verse mode. On the title screen, press X, up, Y, left, B, down, A, right, X, and up on controller 2. Wow, you gotta have controller 2 plugged in and ready. If you enter the code correctly, you should hear a female voice. Select the verse battle mode, and both of the boss characters can be accessed by moving the cursor to the top left corner of the screen. Both players can use either of the extra characters. And Army Ants, Sim Ant. Use some Army Ants. Never played that one. Mega Man X. Oh, here it is. The Hadouken Mega Man. Right here is the code. Or show you how, at least, to get the Hadouken. Secret Agent 483 found this highly secret special move for Mega Man X. After you have finished off all the mini-bosses and collected all the heart and sub-tanks, return to the Armored Armadillo stage of the game and work your way to the end of the stage. Before you reach the boss's room, when you're flying across the chasm on the cart, jump off the cliff above the final door. Quickly climb the cliff and grab the power-up, then jump into the chasm. Repeat this process 4 more times, and Dr. Light will appear and give you the Hadouken power. Press down, down, forward, forward, then Y to use the fireball. Beat all the bosses, collect all the heart, sub-containers, return to completed armored art. This is the breakdown of it here. You jump up there, jump into the chasm, repeat. There it is, boom. And you can one-shot all the bosses with it as well. Kirby's Pinball, boss code right here. Never played that one. On the title screen, press right A, B, and select at the same time. So then you can change to what boss you want to play. Bringing us to the Super Metroid comic. Let's go. Super Metroid, Chapter 4, Samus story. This looks awesome. I love the detail right here. I hope you know what you're doing. This is an ancient Chozo treatment. As you may know, Samus has the blood of a Chozo. Really? I thought she was human. She can't be one of you. You don't know of Samus Aran's tragic past? Let me tell you her story. Our ancestors created an advanced civilization. Yes, I've seen it. It's all ruins now. The civilization and the Chozo species ran their course and finally began to fade after many prosperous centuries. The Chozo society was very peaceful. They had learned over the centuries that war was not the answer. Since the planet had no defenses, The space pirates met with little resistance when they converged on Zebes. The pirates pillaged and plundered until there was almost nothing left. The passive Chozo bird people were no match for the fierce pirates. As the pirates took over Zebes, they also attacked an Earth colony on nearby K-2L. Zoom, whoosh, wah, explosions. Run, hide! It's a space pirate air raid! Oh no! Father! I hate pirates! Be careful! Kaboom! It's an explosion and rumblings. Right on target. We took care of them. Let's get out of here! Everything's in rumble. By the time we got to K2L, the pirates were gone and the colony had been destroyed. Look what those creatures did. This is devastating. It doesn't look like we'll find any survivors. Wah, wah. Not in this mess. Then, huddled under the rubble, a baby Samus. There was a lone survivor, a small child. That was Samus? Yes! We took her to Zebes and raised her like she was one of our own. She had the instincts of a warrior. These skills had long been gone from our own species. We needed to fight off the pirates, so we placed our future in her capable hands. She was given Chozo blood so that she would have our natural powers. We helped her learn the strategies of battle and gave her a special suit of armor that would be tough like the skin of a Chozo. Thus, the protector of the galaxy was born. The suit is something that only Samus can wear. It's like a second skin. It wouldn't work the same way if someone else were to wear it. Never heard that before. If the suit is so powerful, then why did she get hurt by the trap? She must then have been focused. Her mind may have been somewhere else. The suit is part of her. If she doesn't sense danger, it won't protect her. She was distracted by something. Perhaps it was you. Do you really think so? Samus was thinking about me? He's all happy. Come to think of it, no. She must have been distracted by thoughts of the abduction of the Metroid hatchling. Metroid! Great shot of Mother Brain right there. The Metroid coming out. Yee! Wait! Stop! It's great art. Love it. Don't you understand? I'm your mother. It's no use, Mother Brain. The hatchling thinks that Samus Aran is its mother. I know, and I order you to do something about this. Yeah. Mother Brain, please control yourself. Do you have any ideas, Ridley? Yes. How would he sound? Yes. Yes, I do. Let me take care of this. You won't be disappointed. Who is that? It's like a normal dude in whatever this is. It's almost like a Mario guy. Who is that? Who's that supposed to be? Who are these pitiful creatures? Galactic Federation Chairman Keaton and Chief Officer Hardy. My plan is to use them as a decoy to lure in Samus Aran, then capture Samus and destroy her in front of the Metroid hatchling. The Metroid will snap out of the fondness for Samus, and you will be back in control. Help! Control yourself, Hardy. I like your thinking, Ridley. Get to work on this plan right away. I will send their cries for help out to space with the Psycho Amplifier. The signals will reach out to Samus wherever she is. I'm frightened. Be quiet. Stop. Looks like she's waking up there. Old bird. Samus-san, you're awake. I can sense trouble on Zebes. Hardy and Keaton have been captured, and are being held hostage by pirates. It's a trap. They're trying to get to you. You're still very weak. I'll use the healing power of the power bombs. No! Help me, please. This is for the sake of galactic peace. What is the healing power? It's a very powerful technique. The warrior can transfer the energy of the power bombs to herself and heal her body, which you could do in the game. So maybe if you didn't know, you're reading this comic, you're like, what? How do I do that? So why didn't you do this in the first place? It's very, very risky. If she fails, she could cause great harm to herself. Are you ready, Samus? Yes! Wait! Duck! Shh! Boom! Samus! Oh, cliffhanger. To be continued. See what happens in the next issue, possibly. Gotta wait till next month. On to the Counselor's Corner. Mega Man X. How do I get the sub-tank from the Storm Eagle stage? Go to the right and ride the first set of moving platforms to the top. Run to the right across the upper ledge. You'll see the word airport below you. Stand on the gray pillar just beyond the first gap and wait until it carries you upward. Jump off the top pillar to the blue-green wall on the right. Run across the top building to the right. Shoot the flamethrower on the platform. Then jump onto the platform and shoot through the glass wall on the left. Walk through the shattered pane to get the sub-tank. Where's the heart tank and launch octopuses stage? They give you the rundown of that. Young Merlin. Never played this one though. So they have 3 questions on that game. As well as Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. How do I reach the exit that leads to level 24? Where's the key in level 24? And how do I defeat the big head in level 25? I'll have to go back. I don't remember if I beat this game. I know I beat 1 and 2. I don't know if I ever went on to Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. And we have Star Wars as well on the Game Boy. Why won't Obi-Wan Kenobi join me? Obi-Wan won't join you until you rescue R2-D2 and take him to the old Jedi. You'll find the droid in the Sandcrawler that's in the upper left corner of Tatooine. It's worth the effort to save R2-D2. He will really come in handy later. He'll be able to tap into the computer system in the Death Star, and he can display maps on the first and second elevator mazes. He can also repair damage to the X-Wing shields on the way to the trench. Nice. Give you the breakdown of that. Looks like this is some extra they threw in here. A step-by-step guide to Crystallis. Last month's Counselor Corner Extra covered the first half of Crystallis by SNK. This month we reveal all the secrets in the rest of the game. So that's a good broken up strategy guide, essentially. Giving you area 6, 7, 8, all of it, 9, 10. Yeah, I never played this one before. Heard good things about it. So maybe we'll add it to the list on some day. Power Players Challenge. These scores are getting better and better every month, with all kinds of great players sending in their high scores. The competition is fierce. If you think you're a truly superior player, check out this month's Super Power Club Challenge. It's tough. Here's your challenge. Top Gear 2. How much money can you earn by the time you finish Egypt? Try to save money by buying as few parts as possible. These would be interesting to do like live streams of these challenges here. Paperboy, what is the high score you can get on your paper route? Winter Olympic Games, what is your best scoring on the ski jump? Choplifter 3, what is the high score you can rack up? Yoshi's Cookie, what is the best score you can cook up? A lot of high scores on this. That's too much creativity going on, I will say. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, how fast can you reach Doom Castle? And the Super Power Club Challenge. With Bugs Bunny's Rabbit Rampage, what is the best ranking and score you could get at the end of the game? The top 25 players that best meet this month's challenge will be awarded 4 superpower stamps for use towards the purchase of superpower supplies. Send all eligibility entries to the address to the right. Entries must include name, address, membership number of the player on the back of the photograph of the completed challenge. So where's the gear that you get to use it? Will it show it in here? Here's your power players. We're breaking down. Do we have anyone from Connecticut in this issue? Doesn't look like it. Dino City high score was Mark Lee from Des Moines, Iowa. Mortal Kombat defeats Shang Tsung on the highest difficulty. Theresa Dukin was number 1, and Andy Kami was another one that did it as well. Shadowrun, lowest body score at the game's end. KC Scott took that in. A Game Boy Revolution. Here it is, right here, looking awesome. When two systems collide. What happens when you combine Game Boy games and Super NES graphics and sound? In a word, magic. Nintendo's Super Game Boy, coming next month, morphs your favorite portable games into full-screen, multicolored masterpieces on your Super NES. It works with every Game Boy title, all 350 of them. And even better, it has a suggested retail price of only $59.99. Just plug it in and play in color. Super Game Boy, super gameplay. Super Game Boy packs a lot of technology into a tiny pack, but it's super easy to use. Plug the Super Game Boy into the Game Pack slot of the Super NES, then plug any Game Boy game to the Super Game Boy. That's it. A simple piggyback job. Once you're plugged in, you'll play your Game Boy packs using Super NES controllers. Hear the stereo Game Boy music through your TV or stereo speakers, and even have the option to customize the game color and border. So yeah, it's able to add color to some of the games here, where it shows Metroid 2 and with the added color, as well as Donkey Kong with the added color. Nice. Because yeah, then they ended up coming out with the Game Boy player on GameCube, which then you can do Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. And now I'm just playing them on my Super Nintendo Classic because it's all modded on there, but I don't have the option to add the color. So I don't think I own a Super Game Boy currently, so it'd be neat to grab that and play it, and then I have the special cables from Castlemania Games, the HD Retrovision cables, plugged into Super Nintendo, then playing some Super Game Boy games on there. So it gives you a breakdown more here of some of the games. Super Game Boy gets the colors right. So it's showing here all different combinations of the colors that you can get. So we have, not every set of four colors will look good. So Super Game Boy gives you 64 preset combos. If you can't find a set you like, create your own with the custom color palette. When you have the right combo, write down the password so you can put it in again. Oh, okay. So they give you a preset, and then if you don't like it, you're like, oh, I'll tweak it with however you want it there. Super Game Boy today and tomorrow. Super Game Boy lets you get the most out of your Super NES and Game Boy system by giving you more choices with enhancing Game Boy graphics with color, clarity, and size. The future is even more colorful. Future Game Boy titles are being designed with 13 color title screens and the possibility that some games will use up to 256 colors on a single still screen. On top of it all, you also have the portability of the world's best-selling handheld video game system. Don't miss the revolution. It's coming this summer. Get your Super Game Boy while you still can. Shows Link's Awakening here with some of the different color options, as well as Tetris, and I think that's Wario 3. Solitaire. What do you need a guide for Solitaire? I do like the art here of this guy, though. That's pretty cool. I played Solitaire on the computer. Never on the Game Boy, though. Wow, it's a full couple pages spread of this game. Black Bass Lure Fishing. Again, never played any of these fishing games on here. I might need the Nintendo Power to break it down on what to do. I mean, pretty neat that they included all these extra. You got the reeds, the lily pads, you could weigh it, go to the pier, depth marker. Pretty involved for a Game Boy fishing game, I will say. It also came out on NES, which I do have a copy of and never played. Wow, here we go. Bonk's Adventure on the NES, though, not on the TurboGrafx. So this was a little controversial there. Okay, TurboGrafx mascot Bonk's coming to the Nintendo. Bonk's back. Hudson Soft has decided to send their little cave guy on another adventure. This time, the NES provides the turf on which Bonk must tread. Bonk's Adventure is a good game for young players, mostly because it's not very challenging and not very long. Bonk will ultimately have to face the diabolical King Drool if he wants to accomplish the task he sets for himself, to rescue the beautiful Moon Princess. Okay, big evil bad guy / beautiful kidnapped princess. It's not an original premise. Just don't mention anything to Bonk. That is, unless you want to bonk heads with the ultimate headbanger. Nice. Bonk to survive. That's using your head because there are several underdeveloped Bonks can fend off enemies with his arms. He has to use mostly bald noggin. Bonkers, Jumpin' Bonk, and Chompers. He uses his teeth to climb there. And bonus attempts, the ledge leap, dental work. This is a bonus round that Bonk can really sink his teeth into. Jump to the wall and keep pressing the A button to move Bonk up the wall. And multiple bonking. As mentioned previously, some enemies can't be warded off with a single bonk. It may take several hits to bring about the desired result. Instead of taking one bonk, run in an enemy, keep flipping after you hit the first time. You may score several more hits while in the air. It works on the Triceratops, and more importantly, it works great on the bosses. Cool trick. Showing you there. A little bit more breakdown here of round 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the bosses as well. You got the major mine boss, Duck Boxer, a duck with boxing gloves, Yap Traps, Triceratops, Deja Vu boss. Wait, you've seen these guys before. Yep. Each of these bosses that you faced previously will have been beaten again before Bonk could go further in his bid to rescue the Moon Princess. Drool's ATV. King Drool, we don't know who he looks like, huh? Final battle with King Drool doesn't take place on Dinosaur Island. Bonk boards a spaceship and travels to the moon where the princess is being held. There's more bonking to be done. Oh, and then we got an ad right here for Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam. What do we got? Grand prize, put your Super NES controller where your mouth is. Go one-on-one with Sir Charles. Take on the real Charles Barkley in an in-your-face game of Super NES Barkley Shut Up and Jam from Accolade. And take a friend for moral support. Score autographed game goods. Take home a basketball signed by Sir Charles himself. And autographed Nike Air Force Max CBs in size 16. And a pair in your size too. I'm like, why would they just send you his size so you could have on display? At least they send you a pair in yours as well. Whoop it up at Disney World. Take your friend with you to the biggest theme park on the planet. Why is that third? I feel like that's a pretty good prize. That's better than an autographed shoe, I feel like. So how do you enter? Use the player's poll right here and send it in and see if you get selected. All right, here we go. So it shows second prize, 5 winners. You get the basketball autograph by Charles Barkley and a sports jacket as well and a copy of the game. Third prize, bring down the backboard and a Nintendo Power t-shirt. Looks like it's a black t-shirt just with Mario kind of over the breast. 50 winners of that one right there. We're on to the top 20 of May 1994. All right, for Super Nintendo, we got Mortal Kombat coming in at number 1. Back to the top. The fight for first is still in full swing, and Mortal Kombat takes it this month, with second place being Street Fighter II Turbo, and third is Super Metroid. Breaking down the other ones quickly, to number 10 we'll just do 5. That's even is off. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, number 4, and Super Mario Kart for number 5. On the Game Boy, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, of course, has been sweeping this book for sure. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins on second place. Kirby's Dream Land, number 3. Kirby's Pinball Land, wow, number 4. And then Metroid 2, Samus Returns. Destroy all the Metroids or you'll have big trouble with Super Metroid. Coming in with NES, number 1, Tetris 2. I don't think I ever played Tetris 2. Number 1, the 2-player action of Tetris 2 has moved to the top of the NES charts. The Legend of Zelda, this game that started it all off. If you haven't tried it, you don't know what you're missing. Super Mario Bros. 3, coming in at 3. TMNT 3, The Manhattan Project, for number 4, and Kirby's Adventure at number 5 on NES. Now playing. Look for these releases soon. May 1994. Super Metroid. Suggested retail $59.99. Release date April 1994. I don't know why they give you the memory size, just to see if it's a big game, 24 megs. Game type, sci-fi action adventure. Jetsons Invasion of the Planet Pirates. Suggested retail price, they don't know. It's coming out in May though, 1994. Memory size, 8 megabits. Not quite as big as Super Metroid. Knights of the Round is coming out. Again, they don't know the price on that, and that's coming out in May. Pinball Dreams. Oh, Mega Man Soccer is coming out. Capcom. Don't know the price. Coming out in May. 10 megabits. Character-based soccer for 1 or 2 players. Dr. Wily has provided the ultimate challenge. A team of robotic super soccer fiends to torment a team of Mega Men. This is a soccer simulation with characters from the popular action series. As the participants, Mega Man Soccer wins the title of the strangest soccer game since Tecmo's RPG soccer game. And that's up against some pretty stiff competition when you consider Soccer Kid and the upcoming Hurricanes. Some of the highlights of Mega Man Soccer include customized team lineups, super kicks, championship, tournament, exposition, and league play. Mega Man fans may get a kick out of the unique concept and fun characters. The poor play control is uncharacteristic of Capcom games. Oh yeah, I didn't even read the good and bad. So back at Super Metroid for good. Excellent graphics, sound, and stellar play control. There's lots of variety, secrets, twists, turns, and challenges. The negative? Even 100 megabits of Metroid wouldn't be enough. For Jetsons, some cool moves like tube travel and the pop graphic thing. Good graphics and interesting challenge. Play controller using the gun isn't easy to get used to. So it's like, it's good that it has it and it's hard to use. I don't know. What else we got? Spectre and SOS as well. Barkley Shut Up and Jam. 2 soccer games, Championship World Class and Super Goal. These are all the sports games that are coming out. Yeah, most of the games are $60, $59.95 it shows. Even Joe and Mac, $55 to $59. Mr. Nuts. It's a squirrel. Rental only. Suggested retail price. Rental only. That's interesting to see. May 1994. Beautiful render graphics and fairly good play control. The price is right. Rent it for the night. The cute characters won't appeal to all players. The music seems designed for a completely different game, rather sad and melodic. I don't think I ever played this. Mr. Nuts is a squirrel with a mission. He must seek out and defeat the abominable Yeti, who's trying to put the chill on Earth. Through 6 stages of traditional platforming action, Mr. Nuts hops and bops over the continuing convey of cute and cuddly criminal critters. Mr. Nuts will be available only at game rental outlets. I wonder if it's an expensive game since it was a rental-only title and not one you can purchase. Let's check real quick here. Well, it looks like it's $137 for loose. A number of licensed companies are turning to a new system for distribution some of their games, and although you'll be able to play the games, you won't be able to buy them, at least not at first. The new approach is to make smaller number of game packs and sell them to distributors, who in turn sell the games to video game rental outlets. Ocean of America is one of the leaders in this area, with 3 titles due to release in the next few months. Eek the Cat, Soccer Kid, and Mr. Nuts will be sold exclusively to rental outlets. Capcom is another company that's testing out this new distribution method. Their Super NES version of Final Fight Guy will appear exclusively at Blockbuster. Other companies getting in on the rental action include THQ and Sony ImageSoft. If it wasn't for the rental option, some of these games probably would never appear. In the case of games like Eek, which initially this Pack Cat thought was an interesting play in spite of some loose play control elements. It means that you'll be able to have some fun without having to shell out the big bucks. If you do the rental thing, though, make sure you clean the game packs before popping them into your Super NES. You never know where they might have been. Fitness fanatics will have a new way to burn blubber later this year with Light Fitness Life Cycle is introduced. The system consists of an exercise bike, a monitor, a Super NES cable link, and a game pack. Your pack racer climbed into a development version on the contraption and started to sweat. The video portion of the exercise turns out to be central to the experience because you find yourself on a course racing other video cyclists. Throughout the race, you can monitor your pumping rate, RPMs, laps, and position. You can also steer with the handlebar attachment or let the game steer automatically, so you can concentrate on thrashing your opponents. What's next? Maybe Nordic Pack for cross-country skiers. Who knows? Combine it with lethal enforcers, and you could be the next Olympic biathlon champ. If you rather party than work out, invite your friends over for Bomberman Fest, because Super Bomberman 2 is on the way. Super Bomberman made a splash last year as the first multiplayer game for the Super NES. It was an instant phenomenon. While visiting one game developer, your interpret Pack Rover stumbled upon a crowded room where half of the programmers and designers were having a Super Bomberman tournament, and it had been going on for weeks. In the opinion of this Pack visionary, Super Bomberman 2 is a plot of Hudson Soft to take over the industry by keeping competitors in a constant state of bomber mania. So it gives you some screenshots here. Eek the Cat. Here's that life cycle game where it's kind of like you're just riding a bicycle. I think there was like a prototype of this that maybe came out, but you're riding a like exercise actual bike plugged into your Super NES. Socks the Cat Rocks the Hill. Where's that? Let's see. From the White House. It was like, wasn't Socks the Cat Bill Clinton's cat? From the White House comes the inspiration for Kaniko's Socks the Cat Rocks the Hill, the story of the mild-mannered tabby who finds himself thrust into the core of power, where everyone wants to step on him. The highlights of this game are the comic bosses who resemble famous political figures. If Socks with his 9 lives makes it to the end of the stage, he'll have to deal with the likes of a stumbling President Ford or Jimmy Carter's smile attack. Your Pack Pundit expects this game to be released in the next few months, bearing congressional action. Nice. Gives you a rundown of games coming out for the Super NES and Game Boy, and what is on the next issue coming in June, volume 61, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is back and he's kidnapped Pauline. Hopping over barrels in a single bound, our hero Mario is at it again in this great new Super Game Boy game. If you like Donkey Kong, you'll love this game. Super Game Boy Gallery. Now that you heard about the Super Game Boy, here's your chance to see what it can do. We'll show you some of the hottest Game Boy games look like when they're played on it. In some of these other titles, they'll get into Slam Masters, Spike McFang, Fatal Fury 2, and Beauty and the Beast in next month's issue. Power Fest 94. Look for Power Fest 94 at a store near you. Let's see. It wasn't coming to Connecticut, but it was going to Walmart's, Sears, PC Richards, and Incredible Universe. Across some of the dates, more tour dates are being added. Did you know what games these endings belong to? So it shows the endings of some of these games. Let's see, the answers are flipped upside down here. Obviously, this would be Terminator 2. Some baseball game, Rocko's Modern Life, obviously. What's number 6 here? Reading upside down. 3, 4, 5, 6. X Califer 2097. Can't say I've heard of that game. I thought it was some other game. Oh well. So that wraps that up there. On the back of the issue, we have more sports titles coming. The best sports. Top names, major leagues. The hard-hitting realism. Mode 7. Best Slam Jam Rush dunk score. Play over 100 sports. Super hits. The best play here. That wraps up our issue. Volume 60, May of 1994. Nintendo Power. Some awesome games coming out, and a look at what was coming in the future with the Super Game Boy. So we'll have to follow up next month on that issue. I hope you guys enjoy what I'm doing here, going through these old retro game magazines. If it's your first time watching, I have a full playlist of other issues that we have gone through. And there's talks in the future, maybe going over some Game Informer, Game Pro magazine, maybe even Wizard. So there will always be something cool to check out on Russ's Retro Reads, checking out these old game magazines. So if that's something you're into, consider subscribing, and these come out every Wednesday, so you don't want to miss one, and you can get caught up with the playlist right here, checking out more Nintendo Powers. As always, guys, I'm Russ Lyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit. I'll see you next video.